I just got back from Texas. We're going to do SQL, Structured Query Language. Here's the course outline right there. But first I'm going to tell you about Texas. I went to Texas this weekend for business. And yeah, that's me. And we helped my friend record a course. And then there's like another guy who's recording a course, totally awesome. And then here's like Texas. And this is my insight into, it's actually bigger than that building. It's just one building. Waco! But I'll show you where Waco is. Waco, Texas. It's like the center of Texas. And how many people, when you think of Waco, you think of just like the worst place, totally backwood, like, you don't want to go there. How many people think that about Waco?
I think of the Waco incident.
What's the Waco incident? Which one? They've had a couple.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where they had all the kids.
Branch Davidian cult, right? Yeah. So people think of that, or they think of the recent biker fight that was just like horrible, and it's Waco's like right, like there's Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, Austin, Houston, it's kind of like in the middle. I think they should change the name to Big Rock. And Big Rock, the center of Texas, because it's kind of like right in the center of Texas. But it's got a bad name, and it's had a couple of bad events, but it's a really nice town. It's a really pretty town. I wonder if we could see some photos. And it was just beautiful. Like, well, that's not so beautiful, but, like that was right across the street from my hotel. There's this bridge and art, and Baylor University is there, and it's totally beautiful. And parks and country, and apparently I have really bad bandwidth. Yeah, big old stadium. That's crazy. I want to see the stadium. Right? Like huge. So anyhow, it was a really nice town. Really nice town. And but my insight into Texas. Interesting thing about Texas, everybody carries guns, and everybody's super polite. It's like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, thank you, sir. It was kind of nice. My mom's side of the family's from Texas, so it totally, just genetically somehow resonated with me. I wouldn't want to live there, but because it's just too south on the hemisphere, right, on the planet, too hot. I want to head north, more water and cooler. Anyhow, queries. Oh no, I got to Texas. Just an anecdote. We are going to look at subqueries. I'm not a big fan of subqueries because here we have two ways of doing the same thing. But I guess it's something you need to know about. Entire chapters dedicated to it. And just trying to get my mouse to work. Here we have like this right here. Okay, so we're selecting ID, date, and first name from customers, join orders, right? So first is from customers, order date and order ID is from orders, right? So inner join. So we know how to do that. We're getting different columns. We could have also done, give me order ID, order date from orders as O, and then as one of the fields I want returned, select first name from customers, where customer ID is equal to order ID. It's like, oh, and the scope of this, like O, right, being orders, right, I have access to that inside my embedded subquery. It just looks messier to me.
So we're only retrieving one row, right?
Yeah, one field, one column.
One
yeah,
record.
yeah, yeah. So those two queries right there are equivalent. And so I'm not a fan of subqueries, but that's kind of the idea. And maybe if you gain more insight when you read the chapter, you could come back and you could teach me, because this is the first time I'm teaching this. And you can say, oh, they're actually pretty useful. Look at what you overlooked. But, I read through the chapter and I was like, whatever. For me, when I read it, I kind of skim. I do read the text, but then I'm kind of like looking at the examples. And for me, the big thing is, can I get it to work? And so I create my own little tables and try to run my own little queries. And like in here, he's like, the textbook is like, you know, here's this massive page of queries with like a bunch of joins, and I'm like, dude, I want the simplest thing possible, so just see the subquery. So that's what I go for when I create them. So I created this, and we'll see how that's an introduction to subqueries and a little bit about my experience in Texas. In the next video, we'll see how to we'll see the examples I put together for subqueries.